This is Nerd Hat.
This is Nerd Hat.
This is Nerd Hat.
Nerd Hatters! It is season 6. We're here, Nerd Hatters. We made it through another year.
Not yet.
2024 is
Not yet.
dead and gone.
No, it isn't.
Although technically, while we're recording this, it's not. This is New Year's Eve.
It might hit in the next few hours.
Yes, but
This-
when you're hearing this, it will be 2025.
This is how we party.
Oh yeah.
If you don't hear this, senpai.
Senpai. Senpai or senpai?
I'm hungry. Senpai.
Senpai. Okay. For a minute, I thought you were trying to say a Japanese word, senpai or something, but.
Senpai Richard.
Well, hey, Nerd Hatters, we are here, and things are going to be a little bit different this season, as we have advertised leading up to today. If you've seen it on Instagram, if you've seen us talking about it, you know it's not going to be quite the same.
That's right. I'm on Prozac now.
Makes two of us.
I love you, Will. You're great. You're great.
Prozac Nation, baby.
That's
Nation.
great. I love it.
We should cover that someday. No. Anyway, yeah. So aside from Will's mental health improving, and mine too, hopefully.
Me too.
And
I'm
yours
on
too.
it.
Shoot,
Who cares?
We all need better mental health.
Yeah.
Right? Who doesn't need better
Yeah.
mental health? And hopefully we'll be able to entertain you and give you a fun time this season, so that it will improve your mental health at least
That's
slightly.
right. As we circle the drain, may it somehow put a smile on your face.
Wow.
As you watch us crash and burn. No, so here's what we're gonna do for this season. It's gonna be a competition. No more will there be collaboration between Will and I, at least not on camera, on mic, as it were. We're not going to be working together to convince Laura to watch nerdy shit this year. We will be fighting against
Thank
one
goodness.
another. We will be competing. Each of us will be advocating for a different nerdy IP, a different movie, film, comic book, video
What's IP?
game, intellectual property. Or we could call it CIP, creative.
Is this a
Intellectual Property.
thing?
I think so. Yeah, it has
Okay.
to do with like copyright.
I don't know. I want
I don't
to.
know. It sounds good too. It's IPs.
It does sound very cool.
Or, well, IPs at night too many times. No.
You might have a urinary tract infection, Richard.
Yeah,
No, actually, that's not true.
you want to
But-
get that checked out.
Anyway, so Will and I are going to be competing, and Laura is going to be the judge.
My
which-
favorite thing to do.
Yeah. So here's how it's going to go. We are
I
going
want
to.
pie.
Will wants his pie. So listeners,
Will wants his
please-
pie. I want to judge, and Richard will do stuff.
I'll do stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. We're having fun. That's what this is all about. That's the main thing we're here for, is to have fun. And hopefully you all will have fun with us. And in an effort to have more fun, it's going to be a bit of a game this year. Friendly competition between William and myself. We are going to have 25 categories and almost one for every episode. We're going to have roughly 24 episodes that drop this season from now until like right at the beginning of December. And then we'll take December off like we did 2024. So that roughly be about 24 episodes, 25 categories total. And we are going to randomly select a category for each episode. So at the end of each episode, we will quite literally draw categories, to be more precise, out of a nerd hat. So we have come up with multiple categories, some obscure, some more popular, some a little weird, most fun, we hope. But 25 categories, and at the end of each week, whoever has won Laura's opinion, Laura's judgment,
Rare.
whoever won the contest in that episode gets to pick a name out of the hat, or I should say a category. Pick a category out of the hat for the following episode. They also, if there is more than one choice of matchup for that following episode, they get to pick which matchup we cover. And the person that loses that week will get to choose which of the two properties they review.
I got it. Are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Are we going to do it right now?
Yeah. So obviously we haven't had an episode yet, so we can't have a winner, but we are going to do a coin toss. So do you want to do the honors?
It will.
Okay.
You go ahead.
I'll go ahead.
I'm okay.
So whoever will, I'll let you call it. Ready? I'm going to toss it up. You can call heads or tails.
Tails or Teds?
Which one? Which one, Will?
Tails? All right.
Yeah.
Says the man who loves Sonic.
Yeah.
It is Tails. All
I'm
right.
going to be you, Will.
So Will is not here in person. We are on Zoom, obviously. You can probably tell. Laura is going to be his proxy. So see all the categories, people. Those of you who might be watching this on video, possibly.
Oh, that's what a proxy is. I was
Many
confused.
categories. I'm shaking them up. They're inside of a nerdy hat. Close your eyes. Laura's, well, she's not looking in the hat, so she's going to pick a category.
The baby
So
Yoda hat.
excited.
All right.
So how many things on this do I read? There's several things.
So you read the category first.
Okay.
It's on the left side.
Okay.
That's the category.
Right.
And then there will be either one or more options
Okay.
for the
This one is, I watch my feelings. Shows we watched when we're stressed out or depressed. This is great. And a Star Trek TNG versus The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
That's random.
So, Will, since I don't have two separate matchups set up yet for this particular category, I'm working on making that list. I'm going to let you pick which of those two properties you would like to review this week. Which one do you want to advocate for when we record the rest of the episode?
TNG or Simpsons?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Simpsons.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is gonna be so fun. It's
Oh, Lord.
gonna be fun. What?
You
What?
don't like cartoons, do you? I didn't think you did. Maybe Bluey.
Shh. Bluey's beautiful.
Oh, Bluey's amazing.
Bluey is beautiful. Screw everyone who doesn't feel that way. That's just no. Bluey's beautiful.
Bluey is amazing.
Whatever that shirt is, give it to me and I'll wear it. Bluey's beautiful.
That's right. That's right. It is.
Hello, Nerd Hat Podcast. This is Holodeck 4. I just wanted to thank you for having me on your podcast and wish you a logical and prosperous new year.
This podcast would not be successful without you, the listener. We are grateful for every download, comment, follow, and rating. While our main episodes will always be free, we do have some basic costs like hosting fees, marketing, and of course, the recording equipment and software we use. Would you consider supporting us with a monthly donation of $3, $5, $8, or $10? Just follow the link in the show notes or on our link tree to become a supporter now. Thank you so much, nerds. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Ladies and gentlemen, in one corner we have Richard, aka The Enthusiast, representing Star Trek The Next Generation. In the other corner we have William, aka The Expert, representing The Simpsons. It's time for round one. Fight!
Nerd Hatters.
Hey, friends.
Nerds which have heads for hats.
We're back a few days later, so we finished the intro, and now we are here for the main event.
The main course.
Today, we are talking about Star Trek The Next Generation and Simpsons. They are facing off.
Wait, what?
The Simpsons versus Star Trek The Next Generation.
Why?
Get out of the hat.
Oh, really?
This is great. Continue.
Yeah, so the topic, just as a refresher, is basically comfort food TV. I watched my feelings. All right, guys. So we are going to jump straight into this because time is of the essence. So the way this goes down, Mr. William Boyer is first. He's going to have 10 minutes to make his case for The Simpsons. Why should Laura watch this? Could it be comfort food for her one day?
No way. Not happening. I already know the answer.
You have a steep hill to climb, William. All right, sir. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Countdown starts. On my mark.
The Simpsons uninitiated. Oh, your mark hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now let's go. Go.
The Simpsons to the uninitiated might seem like the birthplace of adult cartoon animation, and this would not be entirely incorrect. However, it is much more than this. The Simpsons' true heart is, well, its heart. It's about a family, a dysfunctional family that in the end, no matter what life throws at them, will always stay faithful to one another. And there are a lot of really heartfelt episodes within The Simpsons, especially the golden era of The Simpsons in the early seasons. You have Homer and Marge, whose marriage is basically indestructible. They fight throughout the episodes, but always come together in the end. Not necessarily the worst role models you'll ever find. I've been watching The Simpsons since 1989 when they first came on with the Christmas special, episode 1, season 1. Bart, he may pull pranks and misbehave, but in the end, he has empathy towards others and tries to fix his mistakes. Lisa, what can I say about Lisa? She is remarkably unreasonably smart for an 8-year-old. She is the voice of reason within the show. You would think that the mother Marge would be the voice of reason, but she is the most well-balanced character, the most sane character of them all. Her humor is more subtle. Homer has gotten dumber with every season, this is true, but he remains a lovable, depressed person in my late 30s, being 40 tomorrow. Unfortunately, I can sympathize with Homer the most. I think that this show, although growing up watching it, is something that in my current age range is something that resonates with me more than it did or would have as a child. At the heart of this show, even though it's a comedy, it's really a series about a family that sticks together. It can be heartwarming at times. I did get Mandy into it. She grew up being told that The Simpsons was the devil. But after showing her some early season episodes, she came to fall in love with the characters and have empathy towards them. And I think that you will too if you give it a try. I've only spoken for 3 minutes, but I'm done. Okay, I can keep going.
You don't have to keep going. I think I have all the information I need, honestly, to have an opinion.
Well, sir.
Honestly, The Simpsons surprises me.
I like it was short and sweet. I got it.
Yeah, okay, sure.
You told me so many things I didn't know, actually. So I have good notes.
Well, in order to have a full episode here, he does need to actually talk for 10 minutes.
You don't know, but see, look at this. There could be a whole episode on dysfunctional families from me. So we don't know how long I'm going to take. You don't know how long I'm going to take. I might take 10 minutes. I might take 20. We don't know.
Oh, you mean when you ask your questions?
Oh, I have so many things to say.
Okay.
But might not. This is just the first episode. We don't know we don't know. We don't know.
Got to turn my mic back on. That would help.
Will, I appreciated your synopsis. It was very good. Good job. You get 10 points. Richard, it is your turn. This is fun. So, side note, I'll talk because Will didn't use his all of his time, which is perfectly fine. That's how long I would have taken, Will, because that's it. That's it. So thank you for being short and sweet.
But, yeah.
I took what? Say it again.
Honestly, how do you even talk about 30-some seasons of one TV show?
I know it's too much. I have a good chunk here. You're good. Okay. So side note, I was homeschooled. Super fun for those of you who don't know or didn't want to know, and that's fine. That's the end of the episode. Bye. See you next week. No. No. So for like a year and a smidge, I took debate. And I love debate. I think debate's so fun because you get to argue and you get to research and argue some more. It's lots of fun. So I am enjoying this entire process. I'm like a little nervous and excited. So yeah.
Yeah. And we're feeling this out. It doesn't have to be exactly the way we.
It has to be exactly the way it should be. And if it's not, we have all failed and we need to get new jobs.
Yeah. The main focus is that we're pitting two nerdy IPs against one another. And Laura is the primary judge. If we get enough listener feedback, at some point we may get listeners involved voting on that as well. But at this point, Laura is the judge.
I have enough
extraordinaire.
I have enough judgment to fill a room, so we're fine. We're fine. But if it comes to that, then that's fine too. That's cool. Yeah, I will say, to fill up some more time, that I dislike both of these shows so much.
Well, therein lies the challenge. You have to.
Both of them annoy me to the nth degree. I'm just, why? How much time do we have? He asked why. Should we talk about that now, or should I talk about that at the end?
I guess at the end, I can go to my pitch.
Okay.
And then we can take as long as we need on the back end.
We might need it
or until the end of the Zoom session.
Yep. All right, babe. Tis your turn.
All right, so
Will, I just spit out cheese. Will, I appreciate you.
Thank
That's all I
you.
want to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't change the lighting mid episode.
I forgot to change it back after I unplugged it.
I wish I had these.
A little bit warmer lighting, a little bit more cozy. It is my turn.
I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm anxious for you.
She's nervous for me. Oh,
I am. I know how much you appreciate this show and how much I don't.
So, Star Trek: The Next Generation. All right, Alma. Daddy's got to talk now. Here we go.
I like how she just pops up like a mole.
Countdown starts now. 10 minutes and counting. So, I have been trying, not very hard, I have to admit. I haven't tried very hard. But from time to time, over the course of our marriage, I can't remember if I tried while we were dating or not. But over the course of our marriage, from time to time, I've tried to get Laura to watch a Star Trek episode with me. I think I might have succeeded once, maybe once. You may have watched one episode.
For those of you not watching, I am shaking my head.
So that's the context here for she and I and our relationship.
Here's the truth. I love you.
I love you too.
I will watch an episode or two.
But this is for a podcast, and we're pitching these two against one another, and you have to pick between the two at the very least. Right. So, Star Trek: The Next Generation started before you were born. 1987 was the very first season.
You don't need to rub that in my face, but here we are.
So it ran a total of 7 seasons. And Laura, one of the things you have talked about repeatedly.
Thank you, and I know exactly what it is.
In season 5.
It is
Character development.
Oh, actually, no, I thought you were going to say something else.
No. In the course of this podcast, over season 5, as Will and I made our cases time and again for over 19 episodes last season, and then the 20th, obviously, you made your case. But the first 19, you asked again and again about character development. So I thought I'd start there.
Yes, I did.
With my 3 favorite characters, and I'd say it's probably fair to say these are most people's 3 favorite characters, and I think the show is designed for them to be 3 of the most prominent characters, particularly the first 2. So Jean-Luc Picard
Who's that?
Jean-Picard.
I'm kidding.
A Frenchman.
Is it really French? I am so
He's
sorry.
supposed to be French with a English accent because Patrick Stewart. I don't know if he ever tried to do a French accent, but they're just, if he did, they're just like, nah, you're good. Just do you, Patrick. Just do you.
Maybe in his time on the English conquered France.
Could be in the 24th century. But Sir Patrick had never done television before. So we're talking about character development. So I think over the course of 7 seasons, not only did the character develop, but so did the actor. He had never done television. He was primarily a theater actor from the Royal Shakespeare Company. He worked with people like Ian McKellen back in the day and many others. So when he got to TV, he was a little rigid. If you watch the first 2 seasons, it's a little rough. It's a little rigid. But as Patrick Stewart got into the groove of playing that character, as his fellow actors got into the groove, as the writers and the directors got into the groove, the character developed and grew. So some of the ways that he specifically grew, when they first started out, one of the features of his character was that he did not like children. That was supposed to be somewhat funny, but like kind of a quirk of his. In fact, he actually talks to his first officer, Will Riker, in one of the I think the very first episode. He's like, "Will, you're going to have to help me. I'm not good with children."
So he's a dick.
No, he's awkward. He's very awkward around kids.
So, I mean, okay, keep going.
And one of the ways that the writers and directors move that character forward is giving him a relationship with Wesley. So
Shut up, Wesley.
yeah. So
I know things. For everyone who thinks I don't, I know things.
She has heard the references.
I have. Okay.
Shut up, Wesley. That's probably the most famous.
Keep going.
If you watch the first season, it's pretty rough. He and some of the other characters too keep referring to Wesley as the boy.
Well, at least they're not oppressing anyone.
But he's the son of a former crewmate of Picard's former subordinate, actually, Jack Crusher.
Was he killed?
Married to Beverly Crusher, yes, who was killed
By Picard?
No, while under Picard's command. Like Picard had to send him out to do some repairs, I think, on the hull of a ship, and an accident happened, and Jack Crusher was killed.
An accident.
So he was indirectly responsible for the death of Wesley's father. So he has some guilt over that for sure. But he's also awkward with kids. But over time, like over the first 3 or 4 seasons, because Wesley is pretty much only on the series for 4 seasons, if I remember correctly, his relationship develops, and they drop in an episode from time to time where Picard has interactions with Wesley. And one of the final ones is actually a really good episode. It's right before Wesley is going to go off to Starfleet Academy, and he and Picard and one of the crewmen get stranded on a desert planet, and Picard gets injured. So Wesley has to help Picard, and it's not easy. One of the things is not easy for Picard is to show vulnerability. Alma?
I'm so sorry. Our child is so damn cute.
You need to be.
I'm very
kiddo.
distracted. Distracted and distracted. Alma, why don't you go to sleep?
Yeah, it's
Why
time,
don't you take a
it's time to
nap?
go to bed.
Take a rest, tall child. Can you go to sleep?
Yeah, Daddy's talking.
Can you go downstairs and go to sleep? No? Go to sleep, Alma. I'm really sorry, babe. Continue.
It's okay.
So hold on, pause. They're on an island.
No,
on the
desert,
island,
like a desert
desert
region of a planet.
Okay, in the desert, and character development happens.
Yeah, so by this point, they have had a number of interactions over different episodes, and they've slowly been developing somewhat of a mentor-mentee relationship.
Okay.
Initially, both of them are afraid of each other for different reasons. And by the time we get to this episode, and through this episode, their relationship grows even stronger. As Picard has to be vulnerable, he has to receive help from Wesley, while at the same time still demonstrating leadership. But that strengthens their bond, and he talks some about how, if I remember correctly, how he's going to miss Wesley, as he goes off to the academy, and tells him effectively, that he's proud of him and what he's done. So that is one way in which Picard develops, like through his relationship with Wesley. And then they throw in another episode where Picard is literally trapped in a turbo lift, the elevator for the Enterprise, with 3 kids. Well, the Enterprise is going through something. He's not sure what's happening because they're just stuck in a turbo lift. And he has to lead them to safety. He has to get them out of the turbo lift. They have to climb up a ladder, like up a long tube. It's very dangerous, like a equivalent of an elevator shaft. And he's there with them. And I believe he got injured in that too, if I'm not mistaken. So he's helping them with these kids while he's also injured. He has to find ways to reassure them. But at the beginning of the episode, he's like very awkward. You can tell he's not comfortable doing that. But by the end of the episode, he has built some rapport with the kids.
Okay.
And they pick up on the theme of him and children in the first movie that they'd made that came literally right after the series ended. His nephew dies tragically in a fire. And I've used up most of my time talking about Picard. To be fair, though, we were interrupted a little bit with Alma. So Picard grows in that way. Data is endeavoring to be human throughout so much of the series. He's exploring what it means to be human as an android who aspires to be human. He's constantly exploring that. And through his character, we also get other characters' perspectives on what it means to be human, such as Picard's in particular. They kind of develop a mentor-mentee relationship. And Data eventually gets emotions, he gets an emotion chip towards the end of the series. So he gets to experience emotions. Well, he's an android, so he didn't have any to start with. But not sure why that's funny.
Continue.
Yeah, so he gets emotions and then has to learn how to deal with that for the first time in his life. And he grows in other ways too. He develops friendships. He has some romantic relationships. Many different ways in which he grows as a character, including his friendship with Geordi, who is my third favorite character. And Data and Geordi have a really good relationship throughout the course of the series and the first film in particular.
Wait, so what does Geordi do?
Geordi is the chief of engineering eventually. Okay. When he first starts out in the series, he's not the engineer yet, but then he gets promoted, and he's that for most of the series. And Data is a lieutenant commander, and he works mostly on the bridge, but is like a science officer, kind of the equivalent. He's kind of like the Spock stand-in. So anyway, those are my favorite characters. That's some of the character development that they went through over the course of the series. And I think connection to the characters combined with just the big and important themes that it discusses from episode to episode, and the nostalgia of like watching it with my dad and watching it as a kid, like all of those things together combined to make this kind of a comfort food for me. And as I said in the opening, sometimes even now, occasionally we'll still just like go to sleep listening to an episode. It's just, or have it on the background. It's like my Gilmore Girls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want to hear it.
Have it on in the background sometimes. So that's it. That's my 20. That's my 20 cents.
So what?
So I got interrupted a couple times, so I don't think I technically went over, but
It's okay.
Close enough.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
So I have to tell people what I'm willing to watch, what I'd prefer to see.
Between these two, I know you're not a fan of either, so you do have to decide by the end of this episode which you would rather watch, and you also have 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. I cannot even. I don't even. Man, do what?
Simpsons has character growth too.
Here's the deal. As far as delivery goes, Will, I liked yours more. I prefer just like a brief, what's the theme? Now we can continue. So I think your delivery stuck with me more. So I think Will's kind of stuck with me more. Richard's kind of was a little wordy. I knew that going into it. I knew that going into marriage. And yeah, so not bad. Both of you did well considering that you have terrible shows to deal with. So, okay. I have so many things to say about The Simpsons. So the dysfunctional family part, I come from a dysfunctional family, i.e. being homeschooled, 0 stars for being homeschooled, not the show. So the dysfunctional family that's loyal, I get that. That's cute. That's sweet. But Lisa, I liked that. Will, side note, I liked that one of your favorite characters was a woman. I thought that was cool. Female. That's cool. Richard, 10 points deducted because all of your favorites were males. So not cool. Lisa being the smart voice of reason character is kind of putting Lisa as the parent above the actual parents. And that's a big no-no for me. That's the reason why I am watching Law and Order SVU. Because crime. Okay? You cannot make your child be the voice of reason in your home. You're doing something wrong if that's happening. So I don't like that about The Simpsons. I don't like that the parents seem dumb. And we're running out of time.
Well, Marge
what are we going
is
to do
dumb.
about that? What?
Marge is not dumb herself.
Okay.
I would say that Homer has progressively become dumber as the season continues.
I know, and that bothers me. That bothers me because, like, I don't like dysfunctional male leaders, and this is when I make eye contact with the audience. I don't like it. I don't like dysfunctional male leaders. It drives me crazy. So yeah, that's something that I think, honestly, the biggest thing that I don't like about The Simpsons is Bart. He's just
Right.
It's like he's supposed to be the head of the household, and he's
Bart. You mean Homer?
Bart is the son.
Oh,
You mean Homer?
Homer. That's right. I don't even know. So there are, the dysfunctional family part, it's very relatable. I do like that. Indestructible marriage. That's very cool. Considering it came out in 1989. 1989?
Yes, I think.
He said it came out in 1989. That's very nice.
Sounds
I like
right.
that. I like that.
87, somewhere in there, late 80s.
I like that you can relate, Will, throughout all the stages of your life. At least that's what I gathered from what you were saying.
No, more so, Homer is an imperfect father figure who means well.
Yes. Sure. Yes. I'm going to say I don't like, there are very simple reasons why I don't like things. And one of those things is the color of The Simpsons. Their color palette bugs me. I don't like primary colors. I hate primary colors. I hate them. And that drives me crazy about The Simpsons. I'm like, do something neutral. Do something slightly boring. So that's going to get me in a bad mood whenever I watch something. Going on to Star Trek, I'm just going to give an overview of why I hate these series.
So this will be a which one does Laura hate less?
Yes.
Conclusion. So women out there, this will be like a which. Well, actually, I know some women that love Star
You're
Trek.
taking up my time.
Sorry, well, to be fair, you did interrupt in some of ours.
I really wanted some clarification.
Go
It's
ahead.
very different.
Go ahead.
I like that there's character development in Star Trek. That's great. We all need that. I like that Picard started liking children. That came out wrong. Data's cool. The emotional. He gets an emotion chip. It's like, I don't know. It's just kind of like a metaphor for males. It's like, I don't know how to express myself.
They actually address that in one of the relationships.
Yeah.
He has a romantic relationship.
I know.
With a woman who continues to get attracted to emotionally unavailable men.
Yeah.
He's like the ultimate.
I thought that was just so funny. I thought that was very humorous. I like. Oh, I don't know anything about Jordy. I've never seen him in any of the episodes. You don't.
Butterfly in the sky.
I love
Twice as
Ruby.
high.
He taught me how to read. That's not true.
That's right.
But I did like
LeVar
books
Burton
more.
is the-
I love books more because of him. Thank you, LeVar.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Damn it! Now that changes everything. I was like, who the fuck is Jordy? I've never heard him referred to as Jordy. I literally have not. I was
Jordy
like,
LaForge. They even did an episode on Reading Rainbow where they went behind the scenes of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I think I saw that
remember it.
one.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me see. Watching it with family, emotional chip. That just cute. The
Emotional
biggest
damage.
thing I dislike about Star Trek is the style of acting. I do not. Now, I've been exposed to a lot of operas and plays. And the only way to really experience that for me, because I think I have ADHD, I'm not certain. I need to be right up in the center. I need to be I need to see the feet and feel the presence of people on stage. And that's the way for me to actually really enjoy people acting, like if they're on a stage. But I don't like it on film. It's awkward. It feels very, have you seen The Court Jester with Danny Kaye?
Heard of it. I don't know if
Fuck all of you who haven't seen that.
I have seen some
That is
Kate
a
movies.
huge part of my childhood. Not sure why. The king in Court Jester talks like this. Well, if you haven't done fun, and all the ladies of the court, and that's the weird, the style that is. Wait, pause. Can you pause? 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 Picard talks like that. It drives me crazy. Don't talk. I know he was in a play. I know he did so many Shakespeare plays. I don't like it on film. That's all. I don't think it's badly done. I just don't like it. I don't like the style.
So that's another thing that develops over time. He, as the actor, got more comfortable being in front of the camera, and as the writers got used to him as well. They had episodes like The Inner Light, for instance, one of the best episodes of the series. It's very intimate. His acting is very much like for the camera. It's not stagey, as it were. So that develops over time.
Okay. So I have a minute-ish.
Got about 1 minute.
So I deeply dislike both of these shows. I really do. I think I am honestly less interested in Star Trek.
Yay.
For the something you said at the end, you can like fall asleep while watching it, because you've seen them so many times too.
Yes, I've seen all the
that.
episodes.
I am not very captivated by the atmosphere of being on a ship, on a spaceship.
Okay.
So I am less willing to give Star Trek a try. So I do believe that the Simpsons win this episode against my will. It repulses me way less than what are you trying to do?
Sorry, I'm looking at the timer on Zoom. We got about 2.5 minutes.
Anyway, yeah. So sorry everyone who disagrees with me, but you're not here and I am. So here we go. There we go. I will give Simpsons, if I had to, I would give The Simpsons more of a try than Star Trek.
I'll give Richard a must-see episode.
Dude, one positive, I sort of win whichever one of these she picks.
What do you mean you sort of win whichever one? What do you
Because I like both. I like both of them.
They're so bizarrely different.
They are very different.
It's the acting I can't stand. I can't stand it. I can't stand that style. I just cannot. So sorry, everyone.
All right, so William has officially won our very first
There he is.
contest, round 1. William, the winner.
I don't like the result. I appreciated the process.
And here I thought I was going to lose.
Really? No, I will. I like things short and sweet.
Yep.
So just
Yeah, and she's going to try to be objective. Like,
I did. I took very good, I think, good notes on both of yours, and your style of delivering is different. Thank goodness. And yeah, so good job. Don't change, Will. Take 3 minutes next time.
way to
Don't
go,
change.
Will. All right, guys. So we are going to pause and then we will come back to draw a category out of the hat for the next episode. Bum, bum, bum.
G. Montgomery Burns here, coming to you live from the Nerd Hat Podcast studio. I'm here to talk to you about... Hey, what are you doing here, Mr. Burns? This was supposed to be my ad. Poppycock, they asked me to do it. No, they asked me. Richard, come on, tell them here, tell them. I'm sorry, guys, I think I might have double booked. That's kind of my fault. Well, what are we going to do about it? Perhaps we should have a duel. A duel? What? I don't do duels. Why not? Fight me, you scuffler. All right. Tasers at dawn. What's a taser? Let's do this thing. Hey, guys, how about you just both record different parts of the ad? I think that would work fine. Very well. I'll do the first part. No, I'll do the first part. No, I will. Hey, let's flip a coin. How about that? Heads, it's Mo. Tails, it's Burns. Here we go. Let fate decide. And it is tails. All right, Mr. Burns, you can go first. Thank you very much. All I was going to say before this scuffler, hey, stop calling me that, interrupted me, was that Nerd Hat would like you to contact them. They would like you to follow them on something called social media. I believe their handle is @NerdHatPod. And they would also... Okay, Mr. Burns, let's let Mo finish out. Very well. Thank you there. So they have a Facebook page. It's just called the Nerd Hat Podcast, right? Nerd Hat, look them up. They're there. And they're also on YouTube, the Nerd Hat Podcast. I believe the handle is now @NerdHatPod. Anyway, you'll find them there. We're going to be posting shorts and video clips and stuff like that up on YouTube this season. Hey, he's getting longer than I did. You're right, Mr. Burns, you're right. How about you take us out? All right, so wherever you find the Nerd Hat Podcast, you should give us a like, a comment, a subscribe, a follow, a rating, all of those things. And of course, send us messages. We would love for you to do that. That's right. All right, Nerd Hat Podcast. Do all those things. Do them. Oh, and hey, come to my bar. But don't come to my house. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate you doing this for me.
And we're back.
Look at that.
So, William has won round one. I am graciously accepting defeat.
Oh, please.
Will just blew me a kiss for those of you who didn't see that on video.
There was a hair on my screen.
So, Will is not here in person today because there's some icy roads out there. So we are recording via Zoom. So Laura will once again pick via proxy.
I get to be Will.
Yeah, you get to be Will. And this will be for the January 22nd episode.
My dream come true.
So we've got our Nerd Hat. By the way, y'all, check out our post on social media. We want you to send us your Nerd Hats. Whether you have a favorite nerdy hat that you like to wear, or you've actually designed and made a nerdy hat, or you want to design and make one specifically for our podcast, either way, anyway, send it to us. We will give you a shout out on the episode itself, as well as on our social media. And we will use your nerd hat to pull a category out of for that episode. And it will go on permanent display behind us in our podcast studio, as it were. So send us your nerd hats. All right. It is time. Got the categories. I've got all 25 made now. Most of them have at least 2 options for matchup, so I'm shaking them up. Laura's going to pick for Will, and here we go.
Oh gosh.
I want to hear it.
No, it's like it's one of those.
What is it?
Okay, I want my Larry. Wacky. See, that's why I want my Larry. That's what it is without the accent. Wacky 90s comedies. That is the subject.
I want my leg. What did you say?
Yeah.
So it's in Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice. I want my Larry.
I want my Larry.
I want my
It's
Larry.
really good. It's really good. What's it called?
Junior.
What I
Junior.
missed?
It's really
Junior?
good.
Yeah. It's called, the movie's called Junior. All right, Will. So, wacky 1990s comedies
Yes.
is the category for next episode. So, Will, for matchup, you have 2 options. Option number 1, Junior, which we just referenced. Basically, Arnold Schwarzenegger gets impregnated and carries a baby to term, and his partner in crime is Danny DeVito.
It's awesome.
It's great.
It would only work in the 90s too. They can't remake.
Oh my goodness. No, it would not work now. What's that?
Like the other Danny DeVito Schwarzenegger film from Mama from the Train.
Oh, they did that too? And Twins. Don't forget Twins.
Wait, Twins?
They were in Twins. They were in Twins together, although I haven't seen that yet.
They did quite a few then.
So, first matchup option is Junior versus Mrs. Doubtfire. So that's option number 1 for matchup. Option number 2 is Ace Ventura Pet Detective versus Tommy Boy. Between those two, sir, pick a matchup that you would prefer.
Does he have to pick right now? Can't he
Oh yeah, he's got to pick. He's got to pick right now.
He can't go home and pray about it or something. Like,
well, I think he's familiar enough with all 4 of these films. He could probably make a decision now. What do you think, Will? Do you need to look up a trailer? Do you need to look up some photos, some synopses, or do you think you can make a decision?
oh God.
Can it be Ace Ventura 2?
Oh,
I pick. So it's up to me.
Yeah, it's up to you. You get to pick which of those matchups we're going to cover for next episode.
Could you repeat the choices again?
All right, so matchup number 1, Junior versus Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm assuming you know Mrs. Doubtfire, yes?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
seen it too many.
I assumed. And the second matchup is Ace Ventura Pet Detective versus Tommy Boy.
I'm leaning towards the second group.
All right.
Are you allowed to give input on this?
No, it's your decision, man.
Okay.
I'll get to pick which of the 2 I cover once you choose the matchup. But yeah, you're the winner, so you get to make the choice. Now, if you want to talk it over with Laura a little bit, you can. That's up to you. But I'm your competitor, so I can't really have
and
it.
just like that, the second episode is worse than the first. Just like that. I will watch Star Trek. I will watch Simpsons. I'll watch them at the same time.
All right, Will, the pressure's on.
I think that's
Are you going to make Laura's life miserable or more miserable?
What's the more miserable option?
Gosh. Fuck.
He's asking you which of those 2 matchups is worse for you.
Oh, was worse for me? The second. Oh, it's the worst. No. Doubtfire is wholesome and beautiful, and so is Junior somewhat. Ace Ventura is just uncomfortable.
But where's the fun in talking about 2 things that you already like?
Yay.
Fair point. Although it might be hard for her to decide between the 2. That might be the challenge because they're both similar.
Terrible.
Yeah, like I chose two that were similar. Like they both have some pathos. They're both they have a very wacky element, obviously.
We should wrap up.
So, all right, Will, pressure's on, man. What do you think? Do you want to flip a coin? You can flip a coin if you
Go home
want.
and
It's
pray about
totally
it.
up to you.
We can do
Okay.
that. That's fine.
Do you have a coin?
Oh, I can get one.
I can throw the baby up in the air. See how she lands.
So I have the coin from the other day, actually. All right, so Will has elected to flip a coin for this matchup.
My
So
proxy-
what's that?
my
Actually,
proxy-
hold on a second.
Yeah.
Will,
Yes,
can you hear me?
yes,
Can you see me?
yes.
Which one do you want to do?
Well, it's really hard to decide because I've never seen Junior. I could definitely talk about Doubtfire. At the same time, I used to really love Ace Ventura. I don't remember a lot about Tommy Boy, but I just think that it would be fun to torture you.
Pick that one then. Pick the one that will torture me. Okay. I want you to do what you want to do. This sounds so wrong. This doesn't
Are
sound.
you are you familiar with those two films, Ace Ventura and Tommy Boy?
Laura or me?
I'm familiar
Laura.
with Ace Ventura.
I feel like anyone who lived in the 90s heard of it at least, if they didn't see it.
Okay.
I saw
Well, I mean,
the first one.
Okay.
Never recovered.
I have not seen the first one yet.
Richard, why would you even have this on
Well,
as an option? You haven't seen it?
I've seen clips.
It is so,
I have seen clips. I know what it's
it is
about.
so bad. It is so creepy and weird. Richard.
We are going for wacky.
Richard, you haven't seen this?
I have not.
He gets birthed from a rhino.
No, that's number 2. That's the second. I do know that much. That's the second
He
movie.
feeds a baby bird with his mouth.
Now, don't spoil it for me now if I happen to cover that one.
Yeah.
I did know about the rhino, but that is the second movie.
That is the most disturbing. I saw that as a child.
The rhino scene is disturbing, I have to say. I saw a cosplay of that one not too long ago. Did you see it on Instagram?
Yeah.
Someone did a cosplay of the rhino birthing scene.
Traumatized at a convention. That'll be great.
It was awesome. All right, well, so
Damn it, Will, just pick one.
Are we gonna
Damn
do
it.
Ace Ventura and Tommy Boy?
I'm already mad, Will. Go ahead.
I will say one of the fun parts about Tommy Boy is there's a character named Richard. I feel like we can have some fun with that.
I feel like we're going to be upset and angry this whole time. Pick one.
Okay, heads, we do Doubtfire and Junior, and tails, we do Ace Ventura and Tommy Boy.
All right. Will has elected to flip the coin. So here we go. Let fate decide. It's heads. Laura wins.
Okay.
Junior and Doubtfire.
Those are good movies.
All right. Will didn't have the guts to go against Laura.
I felt like that was the safer option anyway.
He doesn't want Laura to beat him up when he's here next time.
I can't beat you up.
That's what it is. All right. So the fates have chosen, and Junior versus Mrs. Doubtfire will be our topic for next episode. So stay tuned for that. January 22nd. It's dropping, y'all. Should be fun. Hey, touch my skin. It's so smooth.
Babe, you can't quote something before people.
I want my Larry.
My skin.
I
is
want
so,
my
my
Larry.
skin is so smooth. It's such a good movie. It's so good.
Help is on the way. All right, y'all. Nerd Hatters, thanks so much for joining us for the very first episode of Season 6. We won't see you. You'll see us / hear us next time.
Adios. Sayonara.
Live long and prosper.
Good night, bitches.
We found it. You finally found your slogan.
Nerd